I'm Alexia James. I'm a digital strategist. So that not only falls in the field in terms of just like businesses and brands, but just also in terms of Web3 and the new digital renaissance that is happening in terms of crypto and NFTs and working with artists that produce collections and put that out for persons, not only within Jamaica or this region, but internationally. So all things brands, storytelling and digital, it's just me in terms of what I enjoy and what I love. So that's just a brief intro. I know they're gonna have other write-ups in terms of past things that I've done on this interview as well, but that's just a little intro to me. Sure. So in terms of my journey itself, I would have got into marketing like at the start of when I started my degree. So my degree is in marketing. And I would have started working with a brand called Red Bull and really experiencing how they as a brand and ecosystem just did their marketing to their consumers. It really just made me fall in love with marketing on the whole and just brand storytelling. So my degree would have been focused on it. But from there, I just kind of went into a rabbit hole in terms of different brands and industries in Jamaica that you all had different segments of marketing in. And then from that, going from startups that dealt with that in terms of startups in Jamaica and startups in abroad, that's where I was all channeling those skill sets, and then coming into a 360 marketing agency that my role focused on digital marketing and digital strategy. And then with the advent of just crypto and Web3 just blowing up so big, I was just immediately drawn to this new space in terms of technology and innovation. And I really just wanted to learn more. And I think that's where most things happen. Like you might have a skill somewhere, but you just want to learn about another place in terms of that information. And that's how come I just kind of pivoted my marketing skills into this new sphere. So it's not really anything new that I'm doing, but more just like applying it to new segments or new channels. But it's all been skills that I've been utilizing for the last 3 or 4 years. So it is very dynamic, as you mentioned, because of course the space changes every minute of every day, and all the information is literally rapidly changing all the time, from the markets to the information to the tech that people put out. So yeah, that's just like an overview. A typical day really changes from day to day, especially now that COVID is not as COVID-ish, I should say. So really my day it's kind of a macro view because we have a team. I have a team in terms of like 10 people. So just like overseeing their brands and what they do. And of course there are now physical events happening again. So in terms of just like coverages and just like capturing those things and share it on their digital communities and overseeing that, to large scale events like our Jamaica Rum Festival that we executed a few weeks ago. So it really could change because things happen every week and change every day with the brands that we have under our scope. But it really is just ensuring that my team is able to perform at their best capacity in terms of their deliverables and what they need to do, and just ensuring that they're okay in terms of putting the best digital strategy onto the brands that they're overseeing. In terms of that, I think it's two main things. The first one just being knowledge and education, because a lot of opportunities that we see now in terms of technology is that if you don't have just a current educational base or understanding of just basic things, it's hard to capitalize on new innovations and new technology happening. So just being able to pull on different skill sets from before, I think is really important. And then the other thing is just access. So for instance, if you look at like a teenager in the US, they have a phone and they have a laptop and they have internet access. They can go on a YouTube, they could go on a Google, and they could teach themselves almost anything, right? But for a lot of people within different parishes, they don't have those capabilities in terms of having working internet, having a laptop of their own, or even a laptop in their home to be able to go on research and go on a school of YouTube and teach themselves different digital skills, like if it's coding, if it's UX designing, if it's graphic designing, because a lot of these people now they don't have degrees for these things. They taught themselves these things from like certificates and YouTube courses. So if we don't have those provisions for people especially young children coming up, to learn these things and have the opportunity to build these creative careers, it's always going to be a stagnation and a lack in terms of that. So I think that's really one of the major barriers. And then when you look at, say, if you want to buy a Mac, like you can't, because of course there's these custom charges that make no sense. Whereas if you look like a country like Trinidad, they literally took all of the custom charges off of those products to ensure that persons are able to get it for themselves without having to pay some kind of high charge to clear it. So that was something great that I saw the TT government do like in the last few years to stimulate the creative economy, even if it's not innately, but just through provisions that they have on offer. So definitely the first thing is just education in terms of knowledge and understanding all the various aspects of it. So from getting your wallet to being able to purchase crypto to then minting your first piece on the marketplaces, like just understanding those basic fundamental things first before trying to rush to any hype or to anything. Like I think that is the base thing that we all just need to read up on and just get more on YouTube. There's a lot of great YouTube videos on it already as well to just learn more about that aspect. It's a great thing from last year into this year is that a lot of people have put a lot of free resources online to just help people learn about onboarding into NFTs, into crypto, and onto the blockchain. And then just to kind of take a seat back to see like what other artists within the region are doing, not just from Jamaica, but from other countries in Jamaica. There are a lot of artists within this region that have done really, really amazing things. As you mentioned, Nicole, artists from Trinidad, artists from Barbados, from Latin America. So I would just pull on that into just be a quick Google search and you would find these people because they're different marketplaces that highlight Caribbean projects as well. Because there's so much to learn from our peers, even if you don't directly know them or you don't have a call to somebody or you don't know their socials or whatever. Like the internet traces everything and the blockchain does that even more. So really to just take the time to just like see what our peers are doing, to see like what you could learn from them, what you can do better, and how you could apply strategies that they're utilizing in terms of putting their art to market or just like building out their own collections or one-of-one collections to put it to market as well. Because that's the great thing about, I think, just Web3 and decentralization as a whole. There's nobody stopping you from knowing the information. The information is out there for you to know and utilize and grasp and immerse yourself in and then disseminate for you to utilize as well. But you just need to take your time to learn about it and not just look at the buzzword newspaper articles on the $1 million sellouts and stuff like that. So those are the main things I would say. What excites me most is definitely just like I love creating. Creating on the whole, regardless if it's digital or if it's an installation or if it's an event. Like I love conceptualizing on the whole. It's just like insane that you could bring something that's in your mind and just bring it to actuality. Like the fact that we're able to do it just makes me feel like it's this magical wizard type of person. So that in itself is what I really enjoy. And then in terms of legacy, that's a very strong question, but I really want to create some type of foundation where the name is my parents' name because I lost both of my parents already, where like it's just helping Caribbean creators to be able to amplify themselves and their work because I've had a lot of just like blessings and opportunities in terms of that, in terms of people connecting me and they don't know me. Like I came to Jamaica knowing not a soul. And just been really lucky and blessed to meet people that put me on and give me opportunities and give me knowledge and give me wisdom. So having some type of foundation that allows other people to have those same types of benefits, I think will really be a legacy for me. Not just creativity, but just in terms of other industries like tech and STEM. Because I feel like a lot of us in this region, we kind of suffer if we don't go abroad or if we don't, because you have so much more access when you're in those places, you know what I mean, to different opportunities. So that would definitely be like legacy work for me. Yeah.